We're back, and it's time to bring on those standings because we want to see how it's going down. It has got very interesting. It's going to be incredibly close, but who has managed to sit in top 8 with just the final 2 games remaining as we need a home? It's getting really scary now. This is not what you want to see. Riddle working their way up off the back of that 16-point win into 6th place now. Now, overall, right, you can definitely say that the teams are going to be within this without really a shot of losing it. Is your top 4 teams. There's no one's catching up with them. It would take a lot for Besiktas and Riddle to now get knocked down, but we need a home. Should be very scared if either K23 or Insidegames or even LXG have just 1 or 2 good games in our final 2.
The thing is, neither of those teams has had really good games today so far, but as we said before, they've all had those out of nowhere 1 game with double-digit kills and a win, right? And that would push them up and above. Right now, they're sitting, quick math, 17, 18 points behind.
When you say quick math, I was like, this is not Group A, B.
A, B, B, C.
I'm an A. A, B, C.
In any case, they're sitting X amount of points behind We Need a Home right now, and they can do it. I mean, and the thing is, they're just inches ahead of both Insidegames and LXG. Force, they need to get, if not back-to-back wins, then something close to it. Seekorg as well needs to pull off something absolutely insane. And if you're Wildcats and Futbolist at this point, I think the run might have.
I can't really put much faith.
Doesn't mean that they shouldn't give it all out though, because crazy things can happen, and we have seen Futbolist with wins before on Miramar. Same thing happens for Wildcat. They've had a 14-kill win yesterday, and well, I mean, if they can just do that twice, then they're in.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if they can. It's a lot to ask. It's a tall order, but we've seen crazier things happen. And the other thing for a lot of these teams, right, is like teams like Avangar and Zen who have just made it through and got no problems. They're not slowing down either. Like they're still out there getting into the top 4s, getting these kills, making it a nuisance for a lot of teams.
And that's annoying for not only the teams that are in the bottom, but also the teams that are trying to stay in. The fact that Avangar and Zoekt Een Naam go out and get all these kills, we're like, guys, you don't even need them. Can you just stop already and then give them to us?
And they're like, it's not our style.
Speaking of changing up things, Zoekt Een Naam, they're going to jump down towards where we've seen the powerful squad land earlier. Now they're forced out east. Glodny spotting out people immediately as he lands. Morpheus will get to drive away. But Zoekt Een Naam now going to land down with the guys in Futbolist. And, well, I mean, that could be confrontations having early on. Northern Lights as well. Jumping out west. They're going to go back to their Gamerlegion-ish jump. I'm not sure, again, exactly why this does happen. But it does. And it's interesting. And the circles, once again, and as always, of this group, go to the edges. And this time around, we're going north.
Some of the circle has already been excluded in this. This is not pretty for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
But it's going to be... we haven't seen as many northern hardships, right, in terms of it's gone all the way up north.
True.
Which means a lot of these teams still don't have the defined course of action in what they want to do here. Especially like you look at now, we've got multiple different teams with interesting drop spots here. BCGG driving forward, takes a few shots of damage towards him, but he will escape with his life.
Yeah, and that's one of the things coming into this game. I mean, one thing is if you're Zoekt Een Naam, you can technically land wherever you want because it's not really going to matter too much. But if you're any of these other teams trying to make it in, the fact that they don't go anywhere near what you've seen them normally go in these situations, that's you missing out of info. That could potentially be the difference maker in whether you lose that one gun of rotation or not, because there's more teams on one side of the circle than what you'd have expected.
And even then, right, when you're rotating, you go, wait a second, who the hell is this? And then all of a sudden just shooting at you, go, really? Like, is this how it's going down? Is this how I've got to deal with this?
Exactly. Snoopy getting looted up on the good old train tracks up on the northern side. They don't have that far to go. They're inside the circle already. But I would assume to see them wanting to take, as a contrast to things they normally do, a if not centered position, then at least move somewhere further east and not hug this edge for much longer.
And also, be careful on teams that are going to rotate in early to you when you are taking.
Because
they're used to having so much more time to work. Obviously, they'll be aware the circle's here, so they understand what will happen. But it's a slightly different style of play than what Avangar have to do on majority of their games.
Besiktas, talked about them just before, should be somewhat safe, but of course, and that's the thing. I mean, you can always say, guys, there's no way this is going to happen. But then imagine you letting your guard down, go out in 16th place, but you have the lead, and then all of a sudden, you just sit back, you watch the stream because you're down and out, obviously. And then you just see this team out of nowhere starting racking up kills, and you're like, oh my lord, are you actually kidding me? And all of a sudden it's out of your hands. All you can do is sit back and watch, and fingers crossed, that it's not going to happen, right? It's like after you have been to your exam and you go out while they're doing the whole voting thing. You have no saying. It's just them figuring out how your future is going to be potentially. So stay alive for as long as you can and write your own future. That's a better thing to do, I think.
100%. No one's writing my future. Stay back. I control all of my terrible decisions that I decide to make.
I'm not even going to begin to comment on that.
Midlife crisis banks over here. Not even hit 30. Celebrate my birthday in Ukraine. It's cool though.
Yeah, it was a good time. I did it early, but it was. I hope you guys had a good evening. In any case, enough talk about birthdays. I feel like we start off every game with conversation.
There's not much really going on at this point, and we know how this pans out. The
true.
viewers at home know, so they may as well give insights into how my life is falling apart.
Yeah, we don't see them. That is one of the things that I'm missing. Maybe if any of you PUBG developers are sitting out there listening along, because I know there are other, third-party companies that have made different tools so you could draw on the map streams and stuff like that for analysis purposes. But in the game, as an observer,
I'd love that.
If you had like an observer tool where you could draw on around and like put emphasis on rotations and stuff, that would be amazing, both for the viewers to see what was going on, and then when I say, "Oh, look at this guy rotating from La Bandita towards whatever," and then you're like, but I don't even know where that is.
But what I also like, right, is when we explain some of these things, if so, I know there's kills happening here, Northern Lights get effect, but it's just
That's
one.
That's what it is.
I'd love if we had the map screen up, right, and then we can just draw on it and show that, oh, last game these guys did this rotation, we can point out a little bit more of what we're doing. But a Noctiv, he'll just point out easy kills to find as Gluttony runs straight into him, and he goes down without even much of a fight. Genzo's now in the house just in front of a Noctiv, and it's going to be pretty easy for Genzo to try and hold himself off from this. I wouldn't push into him anytime soon, but Avangar have started to make their way in.
Gluttony could not have done things differently there. There was just, it was written in the stars that he wasn't going to survive. And he not going to survive that one either. Finish off does come in, unfortunately. So Broxel goes down in return. But that's what we're talking about. When you're clearing a compound, if you're never sure, clear it with 2. But for an Octave that before, we saw him in that game yesterday when he was trying to go up against Gamerlegion in the first game of yesterday.
Yeah.
The way he can maneuver, like the way he uses terrain to his advantage, it's so amazing to sit and watch because it's so many hours put into him just doing all the movement on point. It's really impressive to watch. So big shout out to you, Octave. That's good luck.
You always talk about someone when this happens, but Seekorg, they're going to be trying to have a bit of a battle as well. We're getting some kills up on the board, but is it going to be enough? Clib looking to do the damage. Can't land this first one. It is great distance he's fighting from, but Clib loves to try and make these shots work.
Do it for the Reddit. Do it for the clip.
Do it for the Clib. I love it.
Exactly. Do it for the clip.
I love it. Clib.
That's going to be his go-to, right?
Clib
clips. The clip clips. That's going to be the reason behind the name, though, right? Can you clip this? Guys, can you clip this?
I'm ready for the Clib.
Yeah, it's like when you throw a Toby, you know? You can clip this.
Throw a Toby, is that like a really terrible nade?
Yeah, that's like when you kill your entire team with one nade. Like the accident, like the one where you want to throw smoke, but you nade your team instead, that's a Toby.
So this is why you told me maybe I shouldn't play with you as much as I was expecting to be carried.
I just want you, like, you cannot sort of expect me to keep you alive.
Yeah, see, I'm just...
More often I'd actually turn out to be an opponent to you.
I'm just the worst teammate because I just rush forward. I'd like to frag out.
That's a strategy.
I just kill.
We can see that's a strategy. People do it here as well.
Just call me 7 as one person.
Yeah, you're the one man 7. You will just gonna do 1 then.
We are talking about the 7 Esports team. Very aggressive team in Group B. We'll get to see them next week as these are the final 2 games here for Group A. 59 players alive, 7.5 minutes in, 16 teams still remaining. It's been little bites and chops coming in here to say like, oh, 1 player's down, but then there's nothing else really too much happening on it. And everyone's just having a good goosey gander at what's going on around here and saying, okay, what space have we got to work with? Because it is still such a northern circle. What I do love, if you're looking at the map stream, is K23.
Yeah.
They've got on a super northern rotation.
If you didn't pay attention to the scoreboard coming into this one, K23, LXG, and Insidegames are the 3 teams that have a chance here at getting into the top 8. They'll have to beat out some of these teams that are sitting above them, but all of the 3 teams are right now on really, really far edge rotations, and that, I think, has something to do with the mental game.
Yeah.
We have a chance here. We need to be safe. We need to stay alive for late game, right? And you just change up your game plan.
You can't be over safe, right? They still have to get some of them kills because of how many points they need. And the team they're looking to see fail is Riddle, and we need a home.
Yeah, and they need, that's the thing where you worry so much about making it in, about these two final games that have so much impact. Azrin lands one more shot.
Ooh.
Almost Azrin. But that's the thing where you put so much thought into, oh my god, 2 more games remaining, we need to do this, guys. And then you start changing up things that maybe, honestly, didn't need changing to begin with.
You can see Besiktas there on their rotation.
That's north.
They are, oh, okay, and this isn't actually going to be too bad. So both Besiktas and K2 and E3, they're making their way, and we said they're doing the longer northern rotations, and they've got a bit of space to work with here. Northern Lights are still in the blue, making their way in. They're going on the latest of latest rotations they could find. LXG are just making their way through. Insidegames are on the eastern side doing very similar. And it is crazy. You're mentioning these teams, other than Northern Lights and Besiktas, everyone else is still fighting to be in.
Balos is right below them. Now they did spot him out, and once again on Octave with the terrain. I mean, you just do not see a lot of players fight around terrain like this any better. And once again, he gets knocked.
Knocks.
I'm not going to compliment the Octave anymore out of the sake for it.
Yeah, you just ruined his chances.
Now he's been knocked twice, so I'm not gonna talk about him anymore, and maybe he won't get knocked.
The Toby curse is real, but Anuctive will try and stay up and try and stay alive, but it's all down to what Seekorg will try and do against him. They're trying to push up onto this, but there's been this little back and forth fight between these two. They're not really wanting to push into it and do it all the way. As Philo, he lands one. Azrin tries to fire back against him, but it's not a challenge they both want to take yet. And even if you do get the knocks, there's probably going to be no finish-offs here just because of how these positions are played.
Yeah, they're not fighting for dead space in the sense that the spot they're in is indeed inside the circle.
Yeah.
But they're fighting on the backside of a hill where they can't really get they can only get info north from where they are right now, and outside of the circle is potentially at least gonna shift down south of them at some point. So all the fights they're having right now is fights they could avoid and then get a lot of info on potentially where they have to go next circle and avoid avoid getting your vests and helmets done. But of course Avangar with having nothing to lose and them liking at least somewhat of an aggressive playstyle. They are running around here trying to see if they can get some angles on towards the Seekorg players.
Water treatment is so stacked now. You've got Riddle, Wildcats, No Tag, Zen, Powerful, and even Forze are pretty close enough to try shoot into it. So this is a cluster. We need to have gone right down to the south.
The mountain ridge around the water treatment.
Oh, cool.
Max so actually is the one to get it either.
That must have been like a call-out time, right?
Oh,
They
yeah,
both looking at him and said, cool, you take the shot, we'll go in for the finish it off. And that's the beauty of teamwork. You love seeing stuff like that.
Wait until it stands still for that split second. You can't shoot and move at the same time. All you can, but that's how you won't hit anything. And they took full advantage of it.
I love stuff like that. That's where communication is proof. It's so key. It's just wait for it, go! And then they both light him up like a Christmas tree, and he goes down. And Sunzi is now going to be trying to hold this off. Snoopy running forward, taking a load of shots. Good shot being landed here, but he can't find it all happening.
Got them both down to under half HP, and our nades are starting to come in as well. This could be Max's sword going down. Not going to have it. Octave spots him from behind.
Jeez.
Azrin is going to be the one to get the knock, and Sunzi finished off there as well. And now Philo all by himself. Solo Frenchman remaining against the Russian force, and I'm not seeing him stay alive in this one. He's going to nade himself for the sake of things, or is he going to try and see if he can get a finish off?
I love, by the way, how fast the Nuctive was on the quick reactions. Dealt with the first shot, and then straight away, obviously knew where Philo was, but he was ready to pre-fire that spot. And Philo is now just completely stuck. Nades coming in. There's nothing he can do. And Seekorg are going out in 15th this time around. No second place or even a top 8 coming in for him after the previous game.
Would have been needed, but not gonna have in circle this time around. Centering up somewhat. Football is sitting well in it. K23 in there as well. And we need a home too, in spots where they can, as we talked about earlier, ride their own futures.
Insidegames just made it in and go, cool, we're going a little bit further south now, but there is a bit of space up here for them to work with, which I'll be happy with. Avangar taking multiple shots onto Northern Lights before they can even get close to pushing in.
CLXG, they're going to start their rotation on out. They got a ways to go and help. They're getting spotted out by Riddle as well. 2 teams that are both on the brink. Riddle have a good chance. Oh, Simpson once again leaving the vehicle. Goodbye.
He's just like,
Spiro,
quick, get out, go.
Can you stop, Spiro, and like block my vehicle for a second so I can pick it up? But in all honesty, Simpson and his teammates, they're down to just 2 vehicles now, and that's gonna be annoying because right now, as you can see, he's getting spotted out.
Oh no!
That him not pressing space hard enough could just have lost Riddle player.
The thing is, at the time, people think, oh, it's not that big a deal, but losing this car here. Look at the terrain. Look at how open it is. This is not what they would have wanted. And they're not even in the circle.
That's what I was going to say. The reason they were here to begin with was because they were starting their rotation. Hani has already gone down, and there's no way they can spend time getting back towards Simpson now. So that's going to be...
Ah, clip!
Oh. And did he save it? He might have.
Why did we go away from clip?
Because...
I want to see the crazy barrel rolls.
Clip has paid the StarLadder crew to say, whenever I do something bad, just go away from me.
Just
Don't
leave me alone.
We can't have them clip it, you know? Simpson has a journey ahead of him. He's running on forward. LXG is making the reverse rotation up north alongside teams like Northern Lights and Insidegames. They've all made their way up towards Avangar. We're currently trying to hold the grand overview of the Oasis. And, well, I mean, right now it's working. But for how much longer will Avangar be able to hold off all these potential pushes coming in towards them?
Oh, Besiktas, they're going to get caught out in the open by Forze here as they're making their run on elsewhere. But they're pinned between Gamerlegion and Forze in this area.
Yeah.
And there is not too many compounds, at least in towards the center, that are left. They're more on the outskirts here, which is going to be the struggle for some of these teams, especially teams that have not yet made it in.
Yeah, and for all these teams that are fighting up north right now, I mean, whatever happens, if this next circle shifts south of where they are on that three-way intersection, odds are they won't make it out of there alive. But we'll have to, of course, wait and see. Force, they're on the hunt. They knew that there was Besiktas players around. They got themselves a kill on one of them before, but haven't really been able to find the other one. Seems like Lux got left behind, and now Ultra and Tamil a little split off on their own, trying to find somewhere to lay low.
Multiple shots coming out towards them.
They're not laying low.
Yeah, they've got
everything.
They're just like, are you running in now? Cool, no problem.
Ooh, that's a southern shift. We need a home. We'll be happy with that one. K23 will as well. Perfectix not so much. Gets taken down by Aserin. And well, I mean, in all honesty, Avangar's not in a hurry to get inside this circle. As I say that though, Sampik does manage to find himself a knock at least over towards Snoopy.
How much does Zambi really want to waste time here? He's pushed up on his own. If he goes down, his teammates are nowhere near him.
No, they're all there split off, and they have LXG pushing in from behind. Of course, they don't know that, but oh my god, I'm knocked if these headshots just keep on coming.
This, for me, is where Insidegames just say, nope, let's get back together and move.
Yeah, they have too much to lose here. And honestly, at this point, they've already spent too much time. LXG has been allowed to push all the way up towards them, and now I think they're starting to realize, you can see in the distance, that fights are indeed starting to occur. Spiro and Fuse are all the way up close with them. You can see it in the far distance. Not sure why we down there. Cynics trying to do some damage. One will go down, one will go down in return. I don't know why we're watching Snoopy right now, but fight between these two teams are indeed happening.
Powerful. Ghost Star trying to work his way up. Wants to try and catch some of these Force players by surprise. Grishka is there. Did he just spot him? I think he did. He's got a good idea of what's going on. And his teammates able to... Oh, it's actually LXG able to do some damage. They're coming in as well. There's multiple fights happening on, which is keeping Force busy on what they're looking at, but can Powerful overcome them now? Zoltas manages to tap down some shots onto it. Unnecessary chaos going in. Nades coming out. Norcus is able to help his teammate out, and Ghost Star, he's not done yet. He's running around.
LXG managed to stay alive with quite a few, but Sampik is now all by himself. We didn't get to see the fight, but LXG made it work, and Norgi with the AWM to the chest takes down Salters. He is not going to have an easy time from here on out. Norgi, though, getting pressured in return. That's going to be Phosphor there, but he gets himself a triple in taking down Force. 7 kills for Powerful. We talked about teams needing to change up things. They got 8 kills before the 12-player or 12-team mark in the previous one, and now they get themselves 8 kills to start off this one too.
I said about it not benefiting Insidegames and how they were playing and where they were split up. They got picked apart completely.
Yeah.
Powerful have now got to push their way inside the circle coming in from this eastern side. And Noctiv, that is not how you want to see it go down. Maxwell's found himself being knocked as well and killed off by We Need a Home. But this is good for We Need a Home. Getting some kills, picking things up a bit.
They need to get these points too, and you can see, oh, that's really good.
Oh!
He actually stays alive off of that with 1 HP. That is as randomly fortunate as anything I've ever seen.
Dude, I felt queasy as he fell down. Like, you know, when you're anticipating that, and he didn't die. It's like, oh, okay.
Spiro trying to push on forward. They do get down Quizzy, but they have yet a run to make. The circle is pushing them in, and Gamerlegion are in there waiting forward. Powerful as well needs to make that run on forward. And okay, 23 trying to fall back a bit. They lost 2 players, and they only have 1 kill so far. We're not happy with that situation at all.
Cast white. Tap, but he can't land the shot. Bjorn trying to keep himself going.
Norkia once again with the AWM delivering so much damage. Northern Lights trying to res up in circle 4. They will know real soon, but that's not going to be possible.
Yeah, you've got a little way to go.
It does deny the kill though. If you res him, then he gets knocked to the blue, I guess.
There's a positive in it, especially if one of those teams that does get the killers. One that is quick on your heels, as Northern Lights will be going out, no problem. OK Bro just grabs his nade.
He reses him and then he blows them both up. That is the most in-depth point denying I've ever seen.
He's like, there's no way we're getting screwed here. These are my minus points, even though there's no such thing as minus points to have.
That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Team kills would be minus points. Maybe teams would stop running each other over then.
I don't think that's ever going to change. The meme I hate to see.
Yeah.
But it's the meme that keeps on giving.
Spiro is chilling. He has his own little Spiro cam right now, but he's not going to be able to chill for much longer because that circle just shifted away. And once again, it goes in the direction of Riddle. So every what you can say, circle bad luck they had yesterday, it's going in their way today. And Octave down for, I believe, the 6th time this game. He's been knocked time and time again. Now Besiktas go down as well. Futbolist getting points in their favor. But as we said before, it might be too late for them to get any chance of reaching top 8.
We need a home, though. They've come alive, and they're getting kills up on the board. They're in a good position in the circle as well, and they're going to grab one of the few compounds that are in there.
Ghost starts trying to hold the angle, keeps the 4x on, but he's going to get shot in the back of the head again. So there it's a third party, and Tupsik will say thanks to that one. Didn't have to do the damage himself. Unfortunately, his teammate does go down, but he will indeed have a chance to make a run on forward. Not going to be an easy one, though, because as you can see, Futbolist and Gamerlegion now as well are indeed trying to hold him off.
And this is what's crazy, actually, what's going down is you're seeing this, and it's Genzo doing all the work, getting the knocks, getting the kills, and he's just putting in that time.
Yeah, I mean, he is doing everything he can to keep his team's hopes alive. Can never give up at any point. Bjorn secures himself the final player for no tag team, so that's going to be them out in 9th place. We are now within placement points. And for Spiro, for K23 as well, stay alive as long as you can, because you don't want to have it all rely on that one last game.
Yeah, you can't afford that to happen, as K23 only have 2 members left remaining. They're getting push up on them from Gamerlegion. But they need to stand strong with this. They need these additional points. They cannot afford for this to happen. But 1 point from 8th place is just not going to be good enough. More nades coming out as just why it's been knocked. And Des out. Oh, that's a big nade. Directly blows up in McCann's face. And he's going to suffer that one. Des out. His teammate's dead. He's going to be prone, but there's multiple teams coming, and oh no, Spiro's there. Nice nade. He's ready for it, and he'll pick up not just another placement point with it, but also a kill point.
That was right behind him, and Spiro, if he has one more, he could get himself a double on the other side here. Just throw it into that smoke. Could be a kill, but he's running the other direction. Important damage for him to come in, and for K23, rough to go out there in 8th place. They had a chance. They got themselves a knock there, but they weren't able to execute fully on it, having lost 2 players earlier.
So LXG is the only team here that can really have a big jump up of what they need, right? Because Futbolist are too far out. Riddle could have a good game. They've only got 2 alive in this now.
This circle, though, not exactly benefiting.
No, definitely not. Spiro needs at least a top 4 here.
Yeah, something of the sort, you would assume. They don't have that many kills to go with it. They do have some, but it's going to be rough rotation nonetheless. The longer he can stay alive here, the bigger the chance Page gets taken down. Clip securing himself a little headshot with the M24 there at a distance. Good job there.
He heard us. He was ready for the clip.
The clip's coming in. Gets himself a headshot on towards him. Aspirin trying to stay put. Knows the entire if we need a home is in the compound just to his side. But they knew that he was behind the block too.
Hook, line, and sinker as Zen. They're trying to make their way, and they are inside the circle, but they are going to be shot down like crazy. 3 players remain for Zen, and their positions are 100% known, and Klib is looking to land some of the money shots.
They are still well inside the circle, so no reason for them to really be scared at this point. Genso has been spotted out by Klib, but do Zoekt Een Naam know that there's a player just on the other side too. Bjorn getting spotted out there as well, and Spiro trying to stay put while everyone else is fighting, finds himself 1 rock. Okay, next rock. Okay, next rock. Keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. And look at how open it is in the corner there. Ooh, now he's spotted too. That's going to be easy. Nope, not going to happen.
6th place though, it's not the end of the world, but it may not be what LXG needed to get within this top 8 here. Klib, by the way, was watching so many angles. He was shooting at anyone from all distance. Futbolist and Zen in front of him, moving over towards the west a little bit. He's looking at We Need a Home, looking up north and seeing the Gamerlegion guys. He's just taking those shots.
I was gonna say, when are they gonna blow up the vehicle? Because they know they're kind of trapped inside that building, right? I mean, blow up the vehicle, that's a double kill for you right there.
Well, nearly. They're trying to make it happen.
One more bullet is already smoking, already burning the vehicle. Just, oh, there you go, the blow up comes in. But somehow no damage done.
He just landed one through the smoke, though.
Well, I mean, there's only so much room they can move around on. They're all sitting in the corner. If Genso could somehow maneuver a nade inside that shack.
Oh, that's heaven for him. He's going to try get it done. He finds the knock onto Page, who was out in it. Genzo pushes up. He's looking to get the job done, but he won't be able to get all of it done just yet. More kills coming out towards him.
Genzo
then go down.
them.
Genzo on point, but he will get taken out in occasion of it.
Genso only died because you got third partied. He 1v3'd Zoekt Een Naam.
Literal one-man machine.
Jesus Christ. Genso, absolutely insane performance. Now, of course, we do know that Zoekt Een Naam were pinned in that little shack there, but what a hell of a one-man performance. And also, getting so many shots fired in his direction, never gave up on it. Shot, and he got himself 3 kills with it. And a placement point better.
We need a home in the circle, though. They've got 9 points already. And they're in top 3. They also have 4 players left alive, and they've got to make. Yeah. They will be seeing Gamerlegion move out, and Riddle will have to move on the next circle, more than likely, depending on where it shifts.
We talked about how last game, all the 3 teams that needed good points got decent placements.
Yep.
Look at this.
Gamerlegion, Riddle, we need a home.
7, 8, 9. Oh no, wait, there's 6, 7, 8. They're sitting right here in the top 3. Everyone said, you know what, we'll just keep these guys in. We'll just die early and these guys play someone out. This is insane to watch. These 3 teams were the one that we talked about coming into these final games, saying, this is your chance to solidify your spot, and they are in the top 3 right now. This is going to be so brutal for the guys that went out earlier, trying to make it into sub 8 to watch.
And this is the we need a home we've been missing, Toby. We have not seen this we need a home across this entire week. It's great to see they're back in it, and it is right to the wire. They've got their backs up against the wall, but they are trying to avoid losing their 8th place.
Now, everyone is inside the circle so far. You can see Lipson and Smash need to make their way across, but should be easy peasy. They do make their way on over. Everyone's inside for now, but where, oh where, will they go once that circle forces them out into the open?
Yeah, there's so much to be determined here.
Riddle has a tough break, tough push down the road. Potentially need a knock in order to make that happen. Clip will be the one to try and make sure that's going to happen indeed. And for now, at least. We need a home. They're sitting well in center. Circle's closing in as we speak. And yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Gamerlegion in a real tricky spot, though. Nades can't come towards them just yet. I think it's too far a distance, but you've just got rocks to hide behind. You are trying to poke over the ridge, but every single time, it's just a huge risk.
And you can see Gamerlegion, they've been running for the entire game. They have no smokes left. They used all the smokes to get to where they are now. So I'm not seeing them getting out of here alive unless if they can really land some good shots or maybe get a little bit of help in it from Riddle.
Lipson, happy on the trigger finger. Wants to make sure that Gamerlegion don't feel comfortable to move out.
Yeah, last circle is going to pop in just a second's time as well. Where, oh, where are we going? We're going to go a bit up north for the final one. So it's going to end in between Gamerlegion and we need a home, kinda. And for Riddle right now, they're just saying, you know what?
This is a lot of downhill.
Yeah, this is going
in many ways.
This can only go downhill from here, quite literally. They do have some rocks and they know they have vehicles up there. So it might just be them having to kind of YOLO send it in a vehicle down towards one of these, either rocks or cactus. If Clip can land, if Clip can get a knock on someone here, that would be absolutely crucial for them to force the other team to look elsewhere. Maybe what he's going to do is, the idea here could be let Yord take the vehicle, Clip stays behind and sacrifices himself, in the sense that once he drives Yord, they will be standing still trying to shoot at Yord, and then he can get a knock on one. Then I think that's exactly what's happening. Yord takes a vehicle now, he's going to drive, he's going to attract all the attention, and Clip, you need to get a knock here.
Shots coming out. Smash wants to get involved as well, but this time onto the Gamerlegion team, who are out in the open, focused on the team of Riddle. This is not how you want to play at Gamerlegion. You don't want to yourself too far out in the open. This Clip will finally be picked off. Hamster gets the job done, and he'll just die out to the zone now, unless he's going to poke out into it and get it. Okay, just let him have it. Why not? Make him get it, make it look pretty, give him the headshot to have in there, but you've still got We Need a Home to deal with, and Hjort has managed to secure himself at least a spot within
Well,
the
he's
circle.
inside the circle, yeah, exactly. And if somehow he can force Gamerlegion and We Need a Home to fight it off, maybe there's a second place to come in there. Riddle did win the last game, so for them to sit as well in it this time around too, and they had a really good spot the first game as well. Second place win, and now a third place for Riddle today. We talked about them needing to step up. I mean, that's it right here.
Gamerlegion, though, in second place. We don't know a more iconic duo than that. They did get the win yesterday. Can they turn this around? It's 3 versus 4 versus 1.
Don't do it, Smash. Don't do it, Hamilton. Oh my,
Ooh,
what?
wow.
What?
That was huge.
That was such a quick peek that even Luke wouldn't have reacted on it.
On point. That was how you get it done. Gamerlegion's going to have to move out. Follow Derek tapping them down. Smashes in there as well. And Gamerlegion, they are being picked apart. They are going to be going down.
I mean, you talk about how normally there's desync for players and stuff, but we don't have that when we're seeing he did not have a chance to shoot back. He was like pre-fire peeking the ankle there.
That was a 1 millisecond display of skill.
Absolutely
Nades coming
insane.
out as well. Hamster heavily under pressure. Hjort seeing what he can do here. If he can just get away with a kill, that's going to be ideal. But Gamerlegion, well, it won't be second place, but it's going to be third for him.
Good game, though. They got the kills needed with it, and that should be enough to push them far enough up and ahead to secure the last game. Won't be a death one for them. Hjort, are you going to nade yourself? What you going to do? He does have a nade in hand. He's going to underhand it. Is he going to get himself killed, though, before they do? Nope,
Oh,
Smash gets him.
Smash. 13 kills and a 23-point game for We Need a Home. One they absolutely needed here.
Yeah.
There is no way they can afford for these games to keep slipping away. And today, things have turned around. They had a second place because of Rita's proning and chilling. Not massive kills off the back of it, but this game, this was the We Need a Home we have seen many times before. We just hadn't seen it yet on Miramar, Toby.
I'm just so impressed in seeing these 3 teams that all came into this one today knowing we need to do well.